Hello, world. As I'm sure most of you know, I like country humans. I mean, really, really like country humans. And I just want to talk about them. Country humans holds a very special place in my heart that is unmatched to anything else in the entire world. I could repeat it over and over and over again, but I don't think I could ever truly express how much I love country humans. And I don't believe love is a big enough word to express what I feel, but it's the closest word I know. I simply adore the idea of country humans. I mean, you're saying that every country on Earth that exists, and has existed, or will exist, has its own little guy, its own little fellow that runs around with a bunch of other little fellows, getting into all kinds of shenanigans? That's so awesome to me. And I love the community. To me, the fandom is very silly and goofy, yet very passionate. There are so many talented artists that share the same kind of love for country humans, which is super cool. There are also a lot of country human projects out there that artists have poured their hearts and soul into, and it's something that I love to see. And it's those projects that motivated me to start my own channel and make my own projects. And it's those projects that really drive my love for country humans. There have actually been a few times in my life where country humans is the only thing I think about. It typically lasts for a month, sometimes a few weeks, but they're all I think about no matter where I am. I could be out in public, eating dinner, going for a walk, hanging out with other people, and country humans would be all I could think about. And they always make me happy. What had kind of motivated me to make this entire video was a drawing I made a little bit ago. I had redrawn an old drawing that was originally made in 2022 when I had first joined the community, and I really cannot find the words to express what it made me feel. It had really reminded me just how much I love country humans and just how much this community has changed me as a person. I actually wrote down a few examples of this. My birthday wish in 2022 was actually about country humans, and I was only in the fandom for a few months at the time. I remember I wished to be able to enjoy country humans for years to come, and I can say with complete confidence that my wish came true. I have also been undoubtedly introduced to a lot of things that I don't think I ever would have been interested in. Things such as history, international relationships, geopolitics, other cultures, maps, flags, geography, and many other related things. And these are things I now really enjoy. Another example would be my cat. My cat's full name is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. I'm not making this up, and I'm not lying about this. This is not some joke I made up for the video. My cat's real name is NATO, and that is because of country humans. Plus, my two main OCs were originally inspired by country humans, and eventually evolved into who they are today. There are so many different things I love about country humans, but I have decided to list only the most important ones. Because if I did list everything, this video would probably be an hour long. The thing I love most is the art. I remember when I first joined the community, I would scroll for hours through Google Images just looking at art, and I occasionally still do to this day. I also like that country humans aren't limited to 2D art. There are writers, 3D artists, animators, craft artists, video editors, and many other creative mediums that they can be used in. Another thing I love to see is the incorporation of history. I think it's very cool that history can be shown using country humans, and I think it's a really interesting way to learn. It's also cool to see that everyone's own personal knowledge of history influences how they perceive the characters and what type of personalities they give each country. But to somewhat go along with that, I enjoy the aspect that history doesn't have to be the main focus of whatever country humans are being used in. The characters could simply be that, characters. They could be used in a separate story, timeline, alternate universe, or simply exist, and I really like that. Things don't always have to be all educational and serious. The countries can be their own individual yet average people living their lives. To follow up with that, I love that country humans have no set headcanons, which means everyone can develop their own interpretations of countries and events. A good example of this would be how I headcanon the United States. I actually have multiple different versions of the but my main one is a goofy and fun-loving guy who deeply cares about his friends and family. Yet someone else can develop a totally different interpretation, and that's really awesome to me. And I can't think of any other community that has something as open as this. I'm aware this is going to sound hella American, but to me the community feels like a Wild West. The fandom is like a box of chocolates. You really never know what you're going to find, and I absolutely adore that. I love that there are no set rules, boundaries, or guidelines that you have to follow. Granted, I'm not trying to diminish the common community headcanon such as Canada wears flannels or Germany wears glasses. Those are undoubtedly there, but I'm talking about freedom of creativity on a broader term, if that makes any sense. I also love the community. It is full of some of the most passionate, kind, creative, talented, knowledgeable, and most wonderful people I've ever had the honor to interact with. And I feel that the community is discredited way more than it should be. I mean, yeah, we're all weirdos. We're all a bunch of freaks and geeks and nerds and dweebs. But I can tell you that I wouldn't have it any other way. And I know that this would technically fall under the art category, but I especially love the animation meme portion of the community. Granted, this side of the community is pretty much dead, but it's still my absolute favorite. Even stuff like animatics, animated music videos, or something else that's specifically art related just makes me so happy. As I said earlier, there are many things I love about Country Humans, but those I just listed are the biggest factors. I know this is kind of silly, but in a way, Country Humans is something I can use to escape the everyday world. It's a place I can go for a few hours and just indulge in something that makes me indescribably joyful. It's a place where everyone is just genuinely happy to be sharing a similar passion with others. It's a place where it does not matter where someone is from, what their culture is, their ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, race, or who they are as a person. Everyone can come together and simply enjoy Country Humans. And it's something I'm really grateful to have been part of for so long. I know, I know, this has been rambly and all over the place, and I still don't truly feel that I've expressed everything I want to, but I do want to say thank you. Thank you, not only for watching this video, but for being a part of this community. No matter how long you've been here, no matter what you have or have not created, no matter who you are, I want to thank you. You simply being a part of this community and simply being alive means so much to so many more people than you could ever imagine. So again, thank you. For my final message, I will leave you all with a quote I made myself. Through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the sheer insanity that makes up Country Humans, I will always love it through and through from now until forever.